Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
If you're listening to this, I wish you could see the video of this, and that is Genevieve Wisdom. She is an amazing life coach with Wisdom Life Coaching, and she's before us right now with snow in the background. I'm not even ready for that. Welcome back, Genevieve. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, Steve. And a part of my life coach process is always giving those who help me look good credit where credit is due. And so it was my amazing team here in Vancouver who said, show Steve and his valued viewers, if they get to see this link, what's going on the wet coast that's now the white coast of Vancouver, British Columbia.
I love it. And the background, it looks like something out of a storybook, with the houses. I see some kids playing there in the snow. And and by the way, we're talking about the beauty aspect of your coaching today,
Yes.
with branding and feeling good with the way you look. So we're going to get to that in a second, but I got to find out how much snow you guys get in there in Canada.
Oh my goodness. So we're literally on the coast. So normally we don't get a lot of snow where I am in Vancouver, except there is some type of an Arctic front, which has happened before, coming up and around 20 centimeters. So the majority of us were snowed in. We couldn't go to the offices today.
Wow.
Now we're digging out because it's about noon our time. And there's another 12 to 20 centimeters expected. So we have huge snow drifts around the cars. And I wanted to show you a little bit of
Wow, I see it.
Yeah. And Steve, I have to tell you and our valued listeners this. My joke, I've been here on and off for a few decades now. And my joke is my idea of a white Christmas before my mom came here and fell in love with the trees and the rain of the west coast of Canada is that my white Christmas was a white sandy beach. Now my white Christmas is snow.
Yeah. Well, both are good, but if I had to pick, I take the sun. That's just me. Everybody's different.
That's right. And that's what's great. We can all be different. I'll meet you on the beaches of Jamaica, man. Yeah, man, Steve.
Wagwan. All right.
Yeah, wagwan.
All right. So let's. I know you have a extensive beauty background as a model.
Yes.
And you do so much. So we're going to talk about that today when you work with somebody in terms of working on their personal style, the beauty aspect of it. Where does it begin for you when you meet somebody? Do you automatically include that in a package, or does somebody actually ask for it?
I like my valued clients to lead me. So in general, when you come to a life coach, there is an area of your life that you go, yeah, you know what? I might want a little bit more of this. So it's actually 50-50. Some people come to me wanting to talk about their skin. Usually it's the skin. At my age, which I love, people look at my skin. Steve, let's face it. We like to talk about beauty from the inside out, and that's great because inner beauty is incredibly invaluable. However, we have an experience of each other when we meet them face to face. So people look at my skin and go, oh, your skin. And I go, yes, I know. And they go, it must be the melanin. And I go, it's more than the melanin. I take nutraceuticals. I do other things. And then they want to know more. And by the way, Steve, it's both for men and women. So when I talk about beauty, it's not just about us girls. It's for you guys too. By the way, my husband loves the beauty protocol that I put him on. So let's say someone came to me wanting to talk about skin, usually, and at youthful aging, which is my platform, it's how do you look good? This is the look good aspect. And we start with the face. So decreased lines, less sag, having that youthful glow that we love when we're 25, let's say. And I do the best I can with the products on the outside and products on the inside. So that's usually how that starts. However, I have had people come to me, business people, for instance, because my passion, I'm a consummate entrepreneur. I've started many businesses. Some have went up, some have went sideways, and that's good. The experience is invaluable. So I have people come to me to help me organize their lives when it comes to their business and their business aspect. And they'll look at my skin and go, "How old? You look good." And I go, "I know." And they said, "You know what? When I'm in a boardroom, I don't want to look tired, for instance, etc." So it all ties in. It's all life.
It's all connected, and I love the fact that you center on the way you look makes you feel good because you're gonna like I have a party I'm going to on Thursday. It's a business related party. I know the suit I'm wearing. I know exactly which one it is because I know I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna feel good. And it's I'm humble, but I gotta feel good at this party. That's the suit I'm gonna wear.
Of course. And you know what, Steve? There's nothing wrong with that. And thank you for saying that. And I do get your genuine humility. And I have that as well. And I think that's what my clients like because I might be joyful and that's great. But there's a sense of humility under that. I'm always learning. I learn from my clients and I'm always learning by doing continuing education in nutraceuticals, in what we put on our skin, in our organ systems, etc. So I'm continually learning, and that keeps me humble. And I can laugh at myself. But Steve, you're right. When you go to Christmas parties now, I have a lot of people coming to me asking, "How do I look good at my Christmas party? I'm a CEO, but I want to go in with great skin. What do you have for that?" And I'll tell them about some nutraceuticals in my skincare line. We'll talk about that later. And nutraceuticals that they take on the inside, I call it the stacking effect. For instance, you put something on with resveratrol, which is an antioxidant, great for the skin, decreases fine lines and dryness for both men and women. You take resveratrol on the inside, an antioxidant, so it's an anti-inflammatory. So we don't have the bloat, the sagging, the dryness that's caused from inflammation on the inside. That's the stacking effect. And that's how my youthful aging platform works. It all ties in, Steve. We can't focus on one and leave the other because the other will fall apart. It's happened to me, and that's why I'm here to share my wealth of wisdom.
So I love that. Can we talk about next to the products, things that you do or suggest? Like for example, you always hear you gotta hydrate, drink enough water. So many of us don't, and sometimes it shows up in our skin. I know that if you take fish oil or omega-3 fatty acids, that will make a difference in your skin. Any of those little tips there that might be floating around your mind that you could share with us, and then we get into the line of products that you have?
Of course, 100%, Steve. And one of the things I love about our rapport is that you're very well versed on these things. And what I like to say, and that's why I love being a life coach, it's fun, it's easy, it's joyful, it's not so staunch. Sometimes you might need counseling, as we've mentioned, or to go to your doctor or something deeper, but this is your life coach. You come to me, I'm like the general practitioner of life, and we talk and we have a joyful experience about it, and we change things. I also take the complicated and make it simple. I also take what you've heard a lot of, like hydration. Um, it's yes, we've all heard to drink more water, but it's not just drinking more water. And that's where I come in with my wisdom. You want to make sure that you're absorbing the water. For instance, I think the majority of us are dehydrated. I don't drink enough water either. And it does show up on your skin. Dryness makes you look older than you want to. And listen, let's all look as young as possible for as long as possible. And so when you drink water, you want to put things in the water to make it absorb. And how I explain it is, imagine going to the desert. The desert is dry, it's arid. Oh, let me give this cracked, dry earth some water. You pour it on, what happens? It pours off. It's not absorbing.
Mm.
So, what I always recommend when someone is trying to hydrate is make sure that you at least put something in the water like electrolytes. I have a magnesium blend, I have a mineral blend, a few drops. They sell it at a lot of health food stores. The one that I use is called Trace Minerals. And you just put it in, but it's just a mineral blend. And now when you drink the water, you're actually absorbing it. And my motto that I learned from a very wise man many, many years ago is, it's not what you take, it's what you absorb. It's not what you put on your skin, it's what you absorb. And so you want to make sure that these things have all the cofactors. So all the things that work synergistically to make them do what you want them to do.
It's so true. We could do whatever we want in terms of our skin, but if it's not getting in, what's the point? Right?
Exactly, exactly. And as a matter of fact, someone was talking to me yesterday about fish oil. And, fish oil, which is great. Fish oil is amazing for the skin because it gives us that youthful glow. And beauty from the outside. And you take fish oil for the skin, it shows up on the outside, but it's an amazing anti-inflammatory as well.
Mm.
So as we get older, that is such a major thing. Pain, that's one thing that you can have from inflammation or just stiffness. And they said to me, oh my goodness, a nutraceutical, which is what I tout, which is what's on my site, is research. So you know that the oil is clean, it doesn't have any heavy metals. Your body can absorb it. So when they take it apart, say, think of your fish oil as juicing fish, right? And if you think about it like that, it's just like, wow, I want this to be clean juice. So that's why you'll notice the pricing is very different.
Yeah.
So because you have to be run through all these tests, third-party testing, to make sure that it's good for you. And my wise teacher that tells me not what you take, what you absorb, you also want to make sure you're absorbing clean things. And so, Steve, I love what I do because it just makes so much sense. And not only have I learned this from Life University experientially, I've also learned it from traditional university because I've, studied how it all works.
Well, this is what I love about you. You are plugged in, and yes, you have to get quality products. And a friend of mine, he's a dietitian, he's a fitness guy, met him years ago. He told me way back then, even fish oil, you have to go with the quality product. If you do not, you're not getting the full benefits. You can't just walk into a local pharmacy and pull a fish oil off the shelf. It's not going to be pure. It's not going to be the good stuff. So yes, you have to pay a little bit more, but for that and other products, yeah, I'm sure nutraceuticals, you pay more for the better product, and then you get the results.
100%. And as your friend said, getting the better product, there's another side to that as well. If you're putting something that's subpar in our body, you have to still excrete it. You're putting it in, it's got to come out, and it's going to come out somewhere, somehow. So you just don't want to give your body that extra stress to filter, have things work with your organ system to get rid of it. Might as well you put the good stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use the good stuff and get good stuff out, like on your skin.
Somebody told me too recently, like talking about, the sun, abusing sunscreen. They said, yeah, you're going to worry about the sun. Absolutely, 100%. You got to worry about the sunscreen. That's loaded with chemicals, what you're putting into your body. And our perception is, I'm doing myself justice by protecting myself against the skin. But if you're using products that have all these chemicals, you're adding toxins to your body, which leads to what you said, inflammation. So let's go to some of the products that you truly believe in. And let's pick like one or two to start with and tell us about them.
Of course. So going back to my beauty background, I started fashion modeling at 13. I was walking down the street. Quick story. I love stories because then you get a picture of me. Mm-hmm. I'm walking down the street, 5'8" at 13. This gorgeous blonde come bounding out of her high-end clothing store and goes, Genevieve, you should model. Okay. I started modeling. The one advice my mom told me at 13, cleanse, tone, moisturize. It's simple. And a part of what I do when I coach and counsel, one-on-one, as well as my small group counseling, because I like to take time to get to know my clients, is I say old school, meet new school. So old school mom, cleanse, tone, moisturize. Fast forward to 2 decades of my traversing modeling. As I said, I wasn't a supermodel. I was like the 99% of models, but I modeled nonetheless. That's for another talk show. I found out that what I was putting on my skin in just the skincare products, not to mention the makeup that was being put on, had all these chemicals in it. Mm. Then I discovered something called apple stem cell technology. That was some time ago in my early 30s, going, apple stem cell technology for the skin. What is that? And quick and dirty, explanation, well, maybe not dirty, just quick, is there's a German apple, can't pronounce it, I forgot my German. But there's a German apple, once you cut into it, it actually takes a long time to oxidize. Everybody knows what that is. When you cut into an apple, it starts to discolor
Oh my
just
gosh,
from
it can sometimes happen in 15 minutes. You start seeing it
exactly.
change, like getting dark and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. This a specific German apple, which is trademarked, but it's still out there. Um, takes about 28 days for this discoloration to happen slowly over time. And so there are skincare products that have that in it. So I took the best of the best. And that's what I use to wash my face. The great thing about that is, Steve, can you imagine there is such a thing as middle-age acne? And that has to do with our hormones. You think your acne is done at 18. Well, it can come back and bite you later on. And so this German apple, it cleanses without stripping the skin. It also feeds the skin because whatever we put on, we eat. The skin eats, pardon me. And I love it. And that's how you take the dirt, the impurities out, because that can cause lines and wrinkles. If you have dirt stacked upon dirt with the oil and sebum on your skin, next thing you know, you have lines. So start with a great cleansing foundation. And it's for me, it's Apple stem cell technology. And I will show the world what it is very soon, next week.
Hmm.
I'll show you, but I wanted to talk about it today.
Super cool. Okay. Toner.
Yes, toner. People, old school meet new school. I had a friend who's a fashion icon, and she goes, "We don't talk about toner anymore. We don't like the toner." I go, "What are you talking about? The skin." Here's what's great, Steve. Physiologically, we haven't changed. We're human. So the skin foundationally, what makes it up, that hasn't changed. Well, of course, technology, we learn new things because we're so complicated, but things haven't changed. So I believe that we have to tone the skin. So we wash it, we have to bring it back to that healthy, slightly acidic pH. And what that does, it helps to protect your skin, helps to prevent you from burning in some cases. Now, I'm not saying it's a sunscreen, but if you have the pH of the skin balanced, the skin can take care of itself, providing you're not laying there and cooking. I wouldn't, but and not you wouldn't either, Steve, but you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
it helps to balance the pH of the skin. So I looked at all these toners. The one that I've chosen has resveratrol in it. So we've talked about inflammation, anti-inflammatory. Resveratrol, everybody knows this from the skin of grapes. And I think a lot of us have started, well, not me because I gave up drinking about 15 years ago, but started to drink glasses of wine for the resveratrol. One glass, okay. When you start to go, you're now losing the effect of resveratrol, and it's an antioxidant. Decreases inflammation, which help to decrease fine lines, wrinkles, stress look on your face. So that's the toner that I've chosen is resveratrol. And remember, Steve, useful aging, my platform, beauty from the outside in. You put resveratrol toner on the skin on the outside. You take a resveratrol nutraceutical. Resveratrol is an amazing antioxidant. We all know what antioxidants do. They decrease pain, inflammation. However, there have been studies that have shown antioxidants also help to prevent chronic conditions like some kinds of cancers, etc. Now, I'm not saying to go out and take resveratrol and prevent cancer. That's not what I'm saying, but it's at least a stacking effect, having something that decreases that oxidative stress. It's a stressor on the body. So you put it on your skin on the outside, take it in a supplement on the inside. Now you have a more youthful look on your skin because you're hitting it from both ends, shall we say.
Wow. You run deep with this stuff. I never realized, Genevieve. I knew that you had a beauty background. I knew that you're connected to these products, but interesting. Like I would have never. I don't think I've ever heard that. You know, placing it on your skin, but also ingesting it as well. Any other tips? Like what would you what do you suggest?
Oh, please repeat, Steve.
Say it again.
Yes, please. What was your question again? We
Oh,
cut
I'm
out
sorry.
for a moment.
And then I didn't hear you. It's like a weird echo, so I lower the volume when I'm talking. Um, Other suggestions, based on these products or nutraceuticals, anything else that you really, really believe in? I know those two that you mentioned is definitely something that's big for you.
Of course, of course. No, I believe in a serum cream. And what that means is, come on, Steve, especially guys, some girls will take time to do our skincare routine. Guys are just, let's get it done. This is what we have to do. I love the male sense, we have to get this done. Let's just get it done. And so I put together these great ingredients that complement each other, and then we can go wash your face, get it done, in and out within a minute. You can cleanse, tone, moisturize. But that's how I am. And people go, what? You used to model, you're not there? Go, I don't have time for that. And so a serum cream is something that's amazing. As we get older, the skin loses its ability to build collagen, elastin, all those things that keeps it looking young. And so on the outside, I put a serum cream. One that I love is called Amla. A lot of people are now familiar with Amla fruit. I'm familiar with it from hot countries. It's gooseberry. Amla is loaded with moisturizing ingredients. Here again, Steve, we can stack our Amla because I actually have sold Amla powder, organic, and it's just a gooseberry. They grind it up. You can put it in your shake, etc. And Amla is so great for the moisturizing aspect. It helps to hold moisture, like hyaluronic acid. We've heard of that. Hyaluronic acid, again, is incredible for holding water. And that's what we want to do as we get older, is keep things moisturized on the skin to look younger. But we also want to keep things moisturized and lubricated in our joints. Hyaluronic acid is amazing for that. And so I do hyaluronic acid in a serum. So quick and dirty, cleanse, tone, moisturize. I have a serum cream, which has the Amla loaded with moisturizing potential. If you want to go a little bit deeper and you have time, I love oils. I have a serum oil that is hyaluronic acid, which help to pull water to the skin, and sacha inchi oil. Sacha inchi is a nut. Um, the oil is incredible. And here's the thing, Steve. A lot of people don't understand oils. We've been told all kinds of things with oils. Mineral oil, that's in regular, over the counter, more preserved skincare, sits on the surface of the skin, actually makes you look older. However, organic oils that you can also ingest, like sacha inchi, etc., they absorb. Again, not what you take, what you absorb, both on your skin, both internally. So you want to make sure it's organic, clean, bioavailable, meaning the body can use it. So those are some of my favorites. It's just the beginning of the list. And yes, this does tie into what I do as a life coach, because you look good, you feel amazing, you're more effective at business and with your family. Don't you think, Steve?
Makes such a big difference. It totally does. Like you have to feel good about yourself if you want to move your life forward. And goes right down to personal relationships, it goes right down to work. So now when you're with somebody and you take a look at the beauty aspect of it, you direct somebody in terms of what they should be using on their skin, taking internally. What about their look, their overall style? Like if somebody says, yeah, Genevieve, I don't know what to wear. I have a whole closet full of clothes. I can't decide. Is that something you work on as well?
No, Steve, I don't really work on that aspect. I have suggestions because, I have an eye. I came from a fashion modeling background, but that is more something that,
Like a
a
style.
lot of times, yeah, they can go, to a dresser, etc. But what I do work on is body image. Listen, Steve, okay, I'm going to tell you now.
It's gonna
My
hurt.
nickname was Black Barbie.
Say that
I
again.
didn't give myself that nickname.
Wait, say that again.
My nickname was Black Barbie.
I love it.
I didn't give myself that nickname because I told you I'm humble, but it was just, look, what I look like, beauty. Well, I'm telling you, Black Barbie has changed a little bit now. And so, how does men and women deal with us getting older when hormones get in the way and change the Black Barbiness, especially in the middle section, etc. So that's more what I do with beauty coaching. Is I talk about what are your thoughts of beauty? How do we traverse life? How do we love ourselves and still consider beauty, men and women, what we look like, even when our body changes? And then I talk about different things that can affect that, like hormone balance, because of my education in applied sciences, etc. And remember, Steve, I talk globally as a life coach. If we need to go deeper, I, of course, refer to naturopathic doctors or your medical doctor to get hormone panels done, because that affects what you look like, which of course you want to look good at your business meeting. And if your body has changed, that's more how I beauty coach on the deeper level. The clothing aspect is very important. I have someone that helps me, of course, with my different looks. I got this new outfit today for Christmas and
Love
earrings, but I can refer to people who do that.
I have a friend, her name is Tina, and I always say the same thing to her when it comes to earrings. I say, hoops are hot. Always wear hoops. You cannot lose, and they look great on you. They really do.
Hoop.
It's true. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but I think they always look great. They always you can wear them, and I'm digressing here, but you can wear them something casual, or it can be something more elegant. But hoop earrings, I don't think you can lose. Yeah, you look great. I don't even know how old you are. You haven't divulged it. I'm not asking you to tell us. But whatever you're doing is working, and it's working for other people too. So we're just about out of time.
Again?
I'll show you the clock. Yeah. If somebody reaches out to you, wisdomlifecoach.com, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wisdomlifecoach.com. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I have different platforms that I'll introduce as we get to know each other. However, I like the one-on-one. So I have an assistant who goes through my emails, of course, and they get to me faster through wisdomlifecoach.com and info@wisdomlifecoach.com. And in order to get more clients to get to know me, I'm happy to do a 10-minute talk, 10-minute wisdom conversation, see where they're at. And then we go from there to see if we're a fit, because a life coach and client have to have that rhythm, that fit.
Oh, it's a relationship, and it's got to work. And I'm gonna give you a new name. It's called the Wisdom One-on-One. The Wisdom One-on-One. Start the
I
conversation.
love it.
What makes you so different is, aside from being a certified counselor and life coach, you also have the beauty aspect, and it all ties together. If you're looking to make a change and feel better about yourself by going to a life coach, the way you look means so much. So start that conversation. Wisdomlifecoach.com. Genevieve, great talking with you today.
I appreciate you, Steve. We have phenomenal conversations, and thanks to all our valued listeners.
Oh, and
I
thank
look
you.
forward to it again.
I would do anything for you. Anything. Genevieve. Please don't ask me to shoot snow. If there's anything, just looking back there, I'm like, I'm not ready for snow yet. I'm just not. But it's pretty. Like you, it's pretty. But happy holidays too, and we'll catch up soon, okay?
100%. Thank you, Steve. Happy holidays to you and your guests.
You too. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
when I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.